The burden of truth, how I unintentionally ruined a marriage. I need to get something off my chest that's been weighing on me for far too long. 3 years ago, I was in a relationship with a man I believed was everything I wanted. He was charming, funny, and made me feel special in ways I had never experienced before. We shared countless nights together, dreaming about our future. But what I didn't know was that he was married, with a child, a fact he had hidden from me. I started to notice small signs that something wasn't right. He would often be unreachable during the weekends, claiming he was busy with work, and he frequently canceled plans at the last minute with some excuse. I didn't want to believe he was hiding anything, but my suspicions grew. It wasn't until I found a picture of him at a family event with a woman and a small child that everything changed. I began digging and discovered he was married with a child, a fact he had never disclosed. When I confronted him, he initially denied everything, but the truth eventually spilled out. He claimed his marriage was falling apart and that he was unhappy, making me feel conflicted. I had genuinely fallen for him, but I knew I couldn't be part of this deception. This situation hit close to home for me. A very close friend of mine had cheated on his partner in the past, and I witnessed the pain it caused everyone involved. It deeply affected me and made me realize how betrayal can ruin lives. I never wanted to be the person who contributed to that kind of hurt. In a moment of anger and betrayal, I made the impulsive decision to reach out to his wife. A few weeks later, I happened to run into her at a coffee shop. She looked familiar, but it took me a moment to place her. I could tell she was having a rough day, and I thought it might be just a coincidence. After a brief conversation, I realized she was the woman from the photo. My heart raced as I remembered everything. I was torn between telling her the truth and walking away. That evening, I sent her a message, explaining the situation and revealing everything I knew. I can still remember her shocked voice on the other end of the phone as she processed the news. She asked if I was sure, and I could hear the heartbreak in her words. I felt terrible for putting her through that, but I also felt vindicated, like I was finally taking control of my life. When she confronted him, their world unraveled. Their marriage fell apart in the aftermath, and I found myself at the center of a storm I never intended to create. His wife and I exchanged a few messages afterward, and while she thanked me for being honest, she also expressed her profound pain. I felt guilty, but I convinced myself I had done the right thing by exposing him. After the divorce, he tried reaching out to me several times, but I completely shunned his efforts. I had moved on, and I wasn't interested in reopening old wounds. Fast forward to now, 3 years later, and I can say that I've moved on. I'm in a very healthy and happy relationship with my fiancé. I took the time to heal and focus on myself. I went through therapy to work through the guilt and confusion about my role in all of this. I've learned to set boundaries and recognize my self-worth, which has made a huge difference in my life. I've never shared this with anyone close to me. I fear judgment and the consequences of my actions. My friends only know that I ended a relationship, and they think I'm moving on and healing. But the truth is, I still occasionally reflect on that chapter of my life and the choices I made. I'm sharing this because I need to let it out. I want to ensure I don't carry the weight of the past forever. If anyone has experienced something similar or can relate, I'd love to hear your thoughts or advice.